Okay. So sorry, last time was really short. I ended up cutting it off because there was something I had to do that I forgot about. This one should be more like my usual, about 2 hours. Not too long, but nice and comfortable. I admire the folks who can go on for longer than that, but it just never really works that well for me. Sometimes it does, but then I got to get up in the morning, and that can get a little tricky. I'm not really a morning person, unfortunately, as is evidenced by the fact that I'm usually up at all hours of the night. Look, it makes sense if you're me. Oh. I've also unlocked a new part of my cell phone game, so that's always fun. A new plot point. I can wander around like a weird person now. Always good. We have a giant robot. Now I understand why that one person on the Reddit keeps suggesting that the next crossover should be Xenogears or Xenosaga. Which I was on board with the idea before, but then that person decided to show that they were an Elon Musk fanboy in the worst way. Um, because someone posted the idea of, and I've seen it around a few Reddits of not using Twitter anymore. It doesn't really work for this particular game though, because the creators, who are all in Japan, still use Twitter, and that's the only place for announcements with regard to the game that says about when the live streams are going to be and the announcements and so on. So it's not, I mean, I guess you could just not ever know what's going on in the game you're playing, but it's not really feasible. I mean, I personally think they could have just said, okay, but then that's like no Twitter links except to what the developers do. And, try to see if you can talk the developers into moving to Blue Sky or something like that. I think I think that would have been a fair compromise. Or, just not do anything. Well, this guy had to go in the comments and defend Elon Musk's salute. Yeah, even the ADL said it wasn't. The ADL lost a lot of credibility with that, I think, because I know what I saw, and I've said this in chats before, and I think other people know what they saw too. So, it is what it is. I think that folks have to make up their own mind about what they've seen, but I think it's important not to deny what you've seen. That's just my take, personally. It's like, I've got a lot of ancient cat things. I wonder if I should be keeping track of what I found in that game. Well, anyway, I will be quitting out of that game so I can keep track of chat. But maybe I'm going to make a note because I often lose track of collectibles, and it might be good for me to keep an eye on that. Well, I mean, the worst case option is that I just end up checking areas I've already checked. So that's not too bad. All right, so where's my chat? Oh, and I should probably find my charger because there's nothing funnier or more irritating than losing my charge here. I actually did end up putting my Path of Exile VOD, so to speak, on YouTube. I don't anticipate I wouldn't recommend anyone watch it because it's basically just me blundering around. I don't even have that version of the character anymore because I decided that since I really didn't know what I was doing, I would try to remake her a couple times, and I did. And eventually I got, I think I got the hang of the abilities a little more and wasn't dying quite as often, and I think got maybe a good starting bit of gear or something that was luckier than most. So now that version of the same character has progressed ahead a little bit, just a little bit. I haven't really played since the weekend, though it's fun. I've heard that Path of Exile 1 fans are pretty upset because I guess their update has been delayed. And that makes me sad because from what I hear, I might actually enjoy that more. Because I have no interest in trading with anybody. I don't really want to do multiplayer. My biggest issue with Final Fantasy XIV, though I admit they've got a lot more single player options now, is that I get really anxious talking with people. Well, there's two options. I either get incredibly anxious interacting with people, or if it's like the old mods I used to play, I get like entirely obsessed and way too involved in my one character. Like I had friends who had like all these alts and I admired that, but I would get into one character at a time and it would be fucking immersive. I still remember the one I played in college. Oh, that's loud. My freshman year of college, and I played that character. I swear I feel like I played that character 12 hours a day. My poor roommate. We had an agreement though, because she had a lot of siblings, so she was fine with noise. And so her and my agreement was that I could type late at night on my noisy little keyboard because it was really clacky for some reason. In retrospect, it was clackier than keyboards ought to be. And she would, oh, I should probably tell my Discord that I'm streaming. Eh, they can figure it out, or they won't. Okay. I guess I'll announce it. All right, there we go. It's announced for two people in my Discord. Um, whether they pop in or not, who knows? They're welcome if they are. So where did I leave off? Oh yes, I was shopping. I think I turned in the quests. I'm not 100% certain how I'm supposed to proceed from here. Oh yeah, because that guy could identify shit, so I was getting rid of all my stuff. Has everyone been fully DE, like, stripped of gear? You have. Yep, or hack meal status. Seems to be. I need to find lighter weight armor. I mean, this armor seems pretty sturdy, which I like, though rusted. I feel like as a paladin I should kind of be against that. It doesn't look bad. Oh, I do like how the design really does look rusty. That's quite clever. I wonder if that's special for the module or someone maybe made that as an art thing separately and the module maker chose to use it. I don't know, but that's really cool looking. I mean, it looks stupid, but it looks stupid in a cool way. My character is quite undignified, and I feel like that's how he should be. All right. Oh, okay. Quick bar info. The color change. I still haven't just put the new patch in, have I? Well, I will. I intend to. I've got it. I just get lazy and forget. All right. My angle feels off. Why is my angle off? Huh? Ah, that's not my angle. Oh wow. The hell? What have I done? Okay. Maybe I'll leave it alone. All right. So, what do I have now? There's a Tomb of an Exiled Knight. I'd really like to go there. Um, the Barbarian Threat. Things have quieted down in Broxford, thanks mainly to my efforts. There's still the barbarian threat to the east, but Olaf is awaiting word from Heimark before making a move. I should report back here in a few days to see if it's time to act. In the meantime, he says there may be some work for me in the Calspur Ranges to the northwest. Well, I've already done the work in the northwest, so we're not going to go there. I do want to go to the east, though, don't I? Because there's a tomb inhabited by a ghost. I feel very paladin-y. That seems like the kind of place I should go. Oh, maybe it's a paladin-specific thing. I've heard that there might be a few class-specific things, but maybe not. Probably not. We'll see. I actually did play the earlier version of this module once, but it was like 12 years ago, so I don't even count that. This is the enhanced edition version. I don't remember it looking anything like this. This is gorgeous. All right. I kinda should maybe stop at the inn since I'm in town, yeah? I feel like stopping at the inn makes sense. All right. I do like the end music. I don't know if you can hear it. We've established that the sound of the game versus my sense of how loud something is not actually accurate. But it is what it is. I kind of want to play this game as a thief at some point so I can, like, find out what's in everybody's shit. Because that is the downside of a paladin. That is the downside of a paladin. You don't really have an excuse. Oh, maybe this was my room? Maybe. I left the door open. That seems careless. It's a luxury suite with a lot of beds. Well, on the plus side, my comrades have a place to sleep. Alright, as I recall, this thing is what advances time. Oh, I like the use of the time stop effect there. And we are all healed up. That's funny. I quite like that. Maybe it. Oh, I'm an idiot. That's probably what I needed to do to talk to the mayor. He did say come back in a few hours. Okay. I feel like I might have accidentally figured something out. Well, that's kind of painless. Usually it takes me forever to figure shit out. I'm actually rather pleased with myself. Okay. All right. Well, it's a nice day. There's the mayor's secretary, busy again. I'm not going to sit on the couch, but let's talk to the mayor.
Greetings.
Greetings, what news? I was wondering if you'd heard from High March regarding the barbarians yet. Ah, as it happens, I received word last night. An important dignitary who wishes to remain anonymous is coming in from the south, and we need to do something about the barbarians as soon as possible. I'd like to know more about what's going on before I offer any suggestions. Of course. Go and talk to Tara Redfern, the local garrison commander. She'll be able to fill you in on the details. I want this taken care of promptly, Justinian. Then I shall speak with Commander Redfern right now. Good, good. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to take a nap before this VIP arrives. I mean, it makes sense to do that. It makes sense to be rested up, but the way he said that makes me laugh. Like, you get to nap, I get to go beat shit up with my, axe, I think. This doesn't feel like a very paladin-y weapon, does it? I don't think that's going to be my weapon specialty. I mean, that might be prejudiced of me. Like, I might be just jumping to conclusions. I just don't feel like it's a paladin-y weapon. Alright, let's talk to the gate guard. Oh, I'm supposed to talk to Tara first, not the gate guard. I'm a dumbass. One day I'm gonna remember what the hell I'm doing. I do like that coat. I think I say that every time. I just really like the coat graphics. Mostly because coats seem like such an improvement over capes. Now, capes are kind of cool because you're wearing a blanket, but it only works if it's comfy. Alright, let's talk to the commander again. Hello, is there something you need, citizen? Yes, the mayor told me to come and speak to you about the barbarians to the east. Ah, I suppose he wants me to deal with several hundred raving psychotics with only 24 soldiers at my command, hmm? All I know is that a dignitary of some importance is coming in from High March soon, and he wants the situation resolved. No pressure, huh? Well, let's get down to it. What do you know of them at the moment? Quite a fair bit, actually. Apparently, the local ranger commander, Armin Wise, sent him a man to investigate all he could from the region. Yeah, his name's Tommy Smith. Damn good ranger. If anyone can find out what's going on, it'll be him. Oh, Dante's actually complimenting someone. What has he discovered so far? The barbarians have been peacefully living on the southern mountains for many years, until a few months ago, when their leadership was changed. The new chief, Irag, is a half-orc, and like most of them, he's abricious. He's abricious, I just combined words. The new chief, Irag, is a half-orc, and like most of them, he's a brutal, vicious bastard. Wow, that's kind of racist. I see. Eric's whipped the rest of them into a frenzy, and they've been preparing for war for weeks now. So what would happen if Eric was to meet an untimely end? Hard to say. Either the rest of them would go on a killing spree to honor him, or give you a big slappy kiss for freeing them from tyranny. I don't like either of those options. I don't know. I feel like the second might be a plot to a porn somewhere. I know what you mean. I'd rather die than be kissed by 200 dirty barbarians. She's clearly not into that kind of porn. Where's the thought, Commander? I'd like to go investigate this area for myself. Any objections? Not as such. You seem fairly well seasoned, so I think you can take care of yourself. Just remember, you probably won't be able to take on the entire army by yourself. Kill Arag, grab his head, and get out of there, preferably in one piece. Oh, and the high plains are frozen solid this time of year, so I'd suggest you equip my... I just tripped over my dialogue. Okay, hold on. Not as such. You seem fairly well seasoned, so I think you can take care of yourself. Just remember, you probably won't be able to take on the entire army by yourself. Kill Arag, grab his head, get out of there, preferably in one piece. Oh, and the high plains are frozen solid this time of year, so I suggest you equip yourselves with winter cloaks. Blech. Before you head out. I've flubbed it enough. It's not like this. It's not like I'm a voice actor. I'll do my best, Commander. You can count on me. Did I get the goal? Good. I do like that they advertise what thing you get there. I'd roleplay it anyway, but at least there's no surprises. Good. Here's a pass for the east gate. Don't let the guard give you any lip about this. Tom's a new recruit and a bit green, and still has to learn how to hold his tongue. I'll keep him in line. Well, good luck to you. Oh, keep an eye out for that ranger. He might still be in the area. They can probably give you more up-to-date information. Okay, I'll see you soon. Alright, well, that means I'm going to be able to find that tomb, huh? Ancient tomb. That feels like a side quest worth pursuing, while we pursue the main quest, of course. So, I'm going to behead a half-orc. Hopefully he deserves it. I mean, but they did give me a couple of fairly peaceful options for the guy ahead, for the poacher guy. Thomas? There's a lot of Toms in this game, I notice. Tommy the ranger, Tom the gate guard, and Thomas the poacher. I thought it was Thomas. Maybe it's not. Let's go check. Bandits, illegal hunting. Ah, it doesn't say the name. Too bad. Anyway. No single Steves, huh? I'm sorry I can't let you out the gate unless you get orders from my commander. I have my orders right here. Let me see that. You're headed to the barbarian lands of the south? You got some guts, sir. You better believe it, mister. Now open that gate so I can get this underway. Yes, sir. Good luck to you. He was actually respectful. Maybe he's a sexist dick because he corrected me when I assumed that his commander was male. So maybe he's just prickly. All right, we're in the southern foothills. Let's look around. I know there's a tomb that I want to find, but I don't know if it'll be here or somewhere else. Let's see what's off the beaten path, yeah? It's very peaceful seeming. I do like that waterfall. That's kind of cool. Or that rainfall. Off the cliff. This is actually quite idyllic, isn't it? I mean, I'd imagine it's kind of uncomfortable, but I'd like to be out in that rain. Oh, I hear something. Let's see, where's the scout? Uh-oh. Where is the scout? I see a badger. Not quite what I'm looking for. Nellis, says Fondlam, I think. Up there? Oh, that's not good. How am I going to get up there? Up there they are. Okay, well, let's get across and hope for the best. She can shoot them if she wants, but let's put it mildly, I'm not an archer. Okay, and I probably should have saved. Oh well. Let's go up here, we'll come back and explore the rest after we've murdered some barbarians. Hi. Having an axe that stuns is quite nice, isn't it? Feels like cheating. Okay. Ah, I kind of missed that, my greatsword, though. But I am enjoying the defense. Uh-oh. I've been taunted. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. It's not like I'm not going to kill them. Nellis is kind of having some trouble. I like that line. Ah, but she's healing, so it's okay. Alright. So let's see what we. Maybe we'll take a second to level up in Paladin. I'm not really planning to dual class with this character, I think. Though, one of these days I want to try one of those power builds. Not this time. Um, let's see. I definitely want Persuade. Persuade's come up a fair bit in this module, I have to admit. I definitely want Discipline. I'm thinking I want more lore again. Okay. Ah, no feats or anything, but a bit more hit points, so those are always helpful. There we go. God help us. I mean, I think we're doing okay, Nellis. Alright, let's get that other guy. Alright, now let's loot the corpses and go back down. Loot the corpses. You know, sometimes I think about it. This is Braxworth Cemeteries. I've heard someone famous were buried here. Okay, so this is going to be where the tomb is that I'm going to be looking for. But first, let's finish looking downstairs. Alright, torch, arrows, and sharp. I might give the sharp bow to Dante to hold on to. And to be fair, bows do tend to go for a fair bit. So let's see. So let's finish looking here, and then we'll look above on the cliffside. Then we'll see if we can find a tomb, because I am feeling like there might be a tomb around here, on account of cemeteries are a good place for them. Looting the dead in RPGs is always fun because that's like the one thing that you don't. I mean, it's pretty taboo in our culture. It's like it's not a good thing to do. Pretty much everyone frowns on the idea of actually robbing the dead, but in RPGs we just kind of do it. And it's completely normal, and that's funny. Like it'd be weird to have an RPG where you didn't get to loot the dead, right? You'd be like, well, why am I killing this guy? Which, when you think about it, killing someone for their shit is also pretty questionable in and of itself. Well, like I said, when I was reviewing, fuck, what was I reviewing? Uh, Dreams of Silver and the Halfling's Gem. I had an issue with the characters acting like murder hobos because yeah, I mean, in a D&D campaign you do that, but in a book you expect the characters to act according to their characterization. If this character is supposed to be a good guy, they shouldn't be robbing people without at least asking first. They shouldn't be violent when a situation could at least theoretically be peacefully involved. I mean, I'm not saying they can't be violent ultimately, but you had situations where the lady wanted to raise her price on the map because she realized that this was a much bigger thing than she was given than she had any idea about, and they blatantly rob her. Bruner headbutts her and breaks her nose. You're like, Drist, are you okay? You're okay with this? Because Drist is portrayed as like a fairly paragon type character. Not quite a paladin, but wouldn't be too far from it. So the fact that he was perfectly fine with his comrade, like Bruner himself, maybe he has a temper and can. Uh-oh, I probably should have saved. He has a temper and probably would have made some questionable decisions, but that's not customary for how Drist is characterized. Or when Drist and Wolfgar end up Drist again fight, it's a little bit more understandable when they end up fighting the banshee for her while robbing her for her mask, because a banshee is known to be a monster at least, and it's not clear if monsters in the Forgotten Realm are sentient, though she seemed to be pretty aware. So it was kind of still bad form. But I mean, there was at least maybe some question there. But man, that was rude. And you're like, that's not how these characters should behave. Yes, in a tabletop, we're all like some folks play very seriously. I've heard things about Critical Role. I've never watched them play, but I like watch some like White Wolf playthroughs, and they seem quite serious and so on. I've I've actually played a few. I find I'm more serious as a player in a text-based RPG than I am when I'm like speaking out loud. Because uh, I mean, if you watch Effector of Change's channel, I don't know how readable it was, but when we were playing Alice is Missing, which was we played entirely text-based through Discord, I was really into my character, and I was really kind of hardcore to the point of a bit of metagaming in a way, in an obnoxious way, I think. I regret that a little bit, but thankfully no one seemed to get mad. But it's like the end I was supposed to give the card to somebody else so they would go investigate, and the way the character had been portrayed so far, and I it's like there was no way he was going to let someone else take that risk, so I ended up going and dying, which I thought was appropriate thematically. I was actually kind of thrilled when when I got killed off because I thought it really fit everything. Um, but I was much more serious than you ever see me playing Igor Knock Knock. Um, there's a Changeling game I was playing for a long time with friends. I mean, that still might be going on, but it's kind of on hiatus. And I had a character who, again, I really got into. A very refuge and audacity kind of character. Does the way I describe the character is he's a very straight line sort of character, but a straight line is diagonal and from like the roof. And it was fun, so I just kind of go with like I'd have this thing where the character would see a path to accomplish what he's looking for and just do it.
Can't bear this much weight and keep
Um,
up.
oh, that's annoying. Um, let's hand him. We'll hand the studded leather armor to him. So it was fun. But actually, the character I think this character was most like, and I read it afterwards, is the most recent Valdemar series from Mercedes Lackey is about the founding. And less so in the later two books, but if you read beyond the first book and the way that the lead character, who eventually becomes the King of Valdemar, gets into the shenanigans that he gets into is very similar to the character I played. I remember being quite delighted because I read that a little bit, like maybe a couple months after we'd started, and I was like, this is basically what Gwild would do. He even has like some sort of thing. It's like, well, if you're going to get hung for stealing a sheep, you might as well steal a cow or something like that. And it's like, yep, that's this character's point of view. It's fun though. I would go have him enter into negotiations and such, and there'd be heavy. We played it with heavy court politics because it was Changeling, but with very established court politics in this one. And my character, rather than work any sort of deception, his tactic was basically just, well, all right, we're going to lay it all on the table and figure out how to make it work for everybody. And it was surprisingly effective. I had fun being like a bludgeon from a weird direction. It was also really funny because of a character twist that never really got its reveal, which makes me a little sad. Maybe we'll end up resuming it and I'll get to play that. But um, it was really fun because I also had picked the most hidebound kind of traditionalist, uh, a she, but the house, the Gwydians, who are kind of like a bit, um, I mean, at their worst, and most of the ones in the setting are at their worst. They're arrogant assholes who are way too self-important with their own honor and so on. And I actually really like playing characters like that. Okay, that's the High Plains. It's kind of like playing a Ventru in Vampire or an Order of Hermes Mage and Mage, and I suppose a Silver Fang and Werewolf, but I've never actually played enough Werewolf, where you're playing the token asshole, but you don't actually have to play them as an asshole. You can, I mean, you can, and that is fun. But I like to play people from the asshole group who aren't assholes, but still kind of embody the idea of the group. I think that's fun. Because, you know, it's, sometimes it's easy to play the not asshole groups. but it can be interesting to try to play that part of the character. I think I'm going to try to go down here for that one hole. You're just like, well, yep, I think the tomb is that door in the graveyard, so that'll be where we go next. Um, yeah, I don't know why I'm talking about this right now, but I am. It's quite fun. That character. I miss him. I should annoy my friend. She kind of. I was going to annoy her when she came to visit in autumn to see if we could restart it, and then she got me distracted with X-Men comics. That's her fault. Not really her fault. I'm just like that. I was due for another obsession because I never get into a passion lately. It's like, nope, this is I'm sorry everyone, this is my life now and will be for quite a while. I think it'll be comics for a while longer though, because there's so much. But I do like other things too. Ah. Okay, these barbarians have a reputation for being very good fighters and extremely vicious too. So don't hold back when things get bloody. Well, it's a little late for that, Dante, but thank you. All right, let's head into that tomb and see what we can find. I don't know if I'll be able to finish it tonight. Like I said, I usually hit about 2 hours, and that's my goal for today. But you never know. Oh, I've been messaged. Oh dear. Sorry, my friend is on. I just had to say hello and drop a link to something that she should see. All right. Yes, that's what I have to do. No, I don't want to pay. Thank you. Some sites, you start using them in their nice free version, and then they decide to upgrade, and it's like, well, you need to do the upgraded version. And no, I don't intend to do that. Discord, I don't intend to give you money or anyone else money. Well, that's not always true. Sometimes I do like to get perks. All right. I do occasionally like perks. Okay, so let's see. But it's gotta have a reason to. I'm not just gonna give anybody any like program money. And Discord, honestly, I've yet to see anything with Discord that makes me want to go from free usage. The air in this crypt is stale, and dusty cobwebs line the ceiling. Okay, let's do this. Alright, so there's doors up, doors down. This place gives me the creeps. Keep your eyes peeled. Something's bound to try and kill us. I have not saved all day, so let's save. Alright, so we got kinky, fuck the priest, those are staying. Just checking, fuck the lich, not the same way as we fuck the priest, but you know how it goes. Bad idea. Probably last Kraken gonna die. Last merchant. Oh my, I'm really close to saving over all my Blackguard saves. Well, that's fun. Okay, Lara Croft, I am not. No, I've never actually played those games. I remember being a teenager and being quite snooty about the fact that she had such prominent pointy boobs. Okay, I can't get that open, so I'm assuming there's a key for that. I was unfortunately one of those. Well, later on, I figured out that part of the thing is that I, well, I was one of those not like other girls sort of girls, which is embarrassing in retrospect. I mean, it's kind of true because I'm non-binary technically, but it's not. It's still rather embarrassing. I think it can be easy when you don't fit in, like, and your tastes don't quite mesh up with the stereotype to start resenting that stereotype. And then getting quite catty about the whole thing. It's like, um, And I was borderline misogynistic as a teenager sometimes, like really, really resentful of all that. So I'd like to think I've gotten over that quite a bit. But all right, here's a spirit, and he is non-hostile. Let's talk to him.
I welcome you.
Another visitor. Come seeking my gifts, I'll wager. Who are were you? I am the spirit of Sir Augustus Charleston. I wonder if there's a Charles in this universe that he's named after. Anyway, I remain here to see that my equipment is passed along to a worthy recipient. Do I qualify? That remains to be seen. To prove your worth, you must undergo 3 tests, one each of strength, valor, and honor. With British spelling. Know that there's great peril involved here. It's even possible for you to die. So if I'm unworthy, you'll kill me? In a matter of speaking, yes. Not directly, of course, but each test must have a risk factor or the trial is meaningless. Fear not. If you're strong, brave, and honorable, you will survive. All right. Well, I've got saved game power. Let's do this. So what must I do to complete your tests? Oh shit, I missed one. Sorry. I hit it swing too fast. Complete them one at a time. The first test is of strength. Defeat the beast at the end of the hall and bring me back one of its horns. All right, return with the horn, proving my strength in battle. That's the spirit I'm looking for. I shall remove the door, allowing you to proceed. I have a test symbol. Okay, here we go. So, what's this test symbol look like? Justinian Kane might be named a bit after Caiaphas Kane. Oh, I probably should have sold that, yeah? Huh. Hero of the Millennium. Alright. So, I think we're going to quick save, because this seems like the sort of place for that. And here is a hallway. Going down, going down, going down, down, down. I did rather like the Valdemar trilogy, the Founding. Mostly I've kind of moved past the series in general, but every once in a while I get back into it. It seemed like she was really dwelling on this one era for a while, and I wasn't all that interested in it, but I might get back to that. Oh, there's more than one beast. Alright, I guess we're just gonna hover in the doorway. You know, Dante, you don't have to go first. I mean, technically, I think Dante's gonna win this battle. Oh, fuck. Dante, get the fuck out of the way. And now you're dead. Alright, that's annoying. It's my test of strength, you fuckhead. That might not be fair, but, alright, let's go back up. And this time, I'm gonna have the two of you not be directly in front of me in the fucking doorway. Thank you. Alright, if you want to come, you can. Just don't get in my fucking way, guys. Alright. Dante! Get the fuck back here. Alright, yeah, I guess you can... Fuckhead. Great, I can't hit anything. I'm not letting him fucking take my valor. I'm gonna make him fucking stand his ground. Alright, let's get a little bit closer, though, but then I'm gonna make him stand his ground and get the fuck behind me. Dipshit. And especially since I like doorways for strategic reason, you wit fucker. You stay fucking there. And now he's still in the fucking way. Fine. Wit fucker. And look at him, he's already dying. Because you can't fucking fight worth shit. I told you to stand your fucking ground, you fuckhead. Alright. Nope. Fuckhead, now I'm getting out of the way, leaving him to die because he's an idiot, and I have a raised dead. Let's fuck him. He's using a battle axe now? Nice. I thought you dual wielded. Oh well. You know, we'll let him keep the battle axe. He's alive. We're fine. I'm low on ammunition. Well, you switched to melee, I think, so that's on you. I've got other ammunition for her. Oh, oh,
Can't bear this much weight and keep up.
there's a great axe. Yeah. I mean, I'm on board with using it, but I don't really feel like I'm great axe worthy. Well, here we go. Shove that into his pile. Huh. At least I don't have to worry about him rushing into things anymore. Alright. So that's pretty much it. Let's go back to the ghost. I think we have completed the test of strength. Now I'm guessing there's going to be a bit of a twist to some of these tests. Valor. Actually, what it reminds me a bit of are the Ultima games, especially 7 and Serpent's Isle, which kept having their own little virtue things. I always rather like that because it's kind of like symbolic. The test of virtue is not it's not something that you can just pass once. You have to live it. That's it. I mean, you might lose a bit of an impact in Ascension, but there you go.
I welcome you.
Well done, Paladin. You've shown great strength and prowess to overcome such a foe. I am well pleased. So what's the next test? Your next test is one of fear. You must prove yourself a man of courage and valor. The challenge increases as you progress down the second hallway. At the end is a creature of great evil. It was my nemesis in life, and I would see it vanquished before my final passing beyond this world. It sounds challenging. Am I actually able to defeat it? If your heart is strong and you have courage, you shall prevail. Go forth and destroy it once and for all. There goes nothing. Alright. I might want you two to stay the fuck behind. Of course, they're going slow, so. Okay, interesting. I like the cloudy effects. It's all creepy. And a dead body. Oh, a dead ranger. Is that Thomas? Is that the guy we need to find? I don't think so. He's not named. Oh, a shadow.
Now see what a true warrior looks like.
Alright, well, let's kill the shadows first. Oh.
Give it up. You ain't got
Oh,
it.
interesting. I'm wondering. Okay. Well, I have turn undead too. I keep forgetting. I'm very bad at this. There we go. Well, it doesn't look like they're hitting me with anything really negative, but that's good. Okay. Alright. Some more dead things. This is quite clever. A shadow fiend. Is that gonna be it? No, this goes farther than that, so. They did say they get scarier as we go. Oh, the fear aura too. I quite like that.
Give it up. You ain't got a chance.
Alright. So far they're not doing too bad in terms of damage. Oh, let's kill that one. For some reason I thought, damn it, why am I missing? Oh wow. Nellis can be effective, can't she? Elise, maybe? I don't know how you pronounce that. I barely know how to pronounce my own name. There we go. Alright, well thank you for that. Oh, a Shadow Lord. They are getting feistier, aren't they? Oh, but we're nearly to the end. Oh, Nellis, please try not to die. You're my only healer. Except for me, but that's like lay on hands and that does shit. Here we go. Alright, I think maybe now is the time to quick save. Oh, well that's a fucker.
For honor and glory. glory! 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 Glory!
Well, let's fight him. Where'd he go? What the hell? Is he not here? Okay, well, should I... He's gone. Is that how it's supposed to work? I hit him. I miss. I got the Heart of Evil, though. Oh, is that how this works? That would be clever if so. Well, let's go talk to... What's his name? And tell him my quarry escaped. Damn it. Alright, let's stop. Oh, was I am I sneaking? I meant to detect. Jesus, I'm out of practice with this game, aren't I? That's what I get for taking a month off and then being kind of sporadic with my streaming afterwards. I forget how to do all this shit. Okay. Okay, here we go. Alright, we'll talk to the spirit.
I welcome you.
Ah, okay, so it was an illusion. Because I attacked it and didn't coward my way out, I won. Clever. Congratulations on your victory. It was but an illusion to help you fight the demon within yourself, but you faced fear and come away victorious. I am most impressed. I'm ready for the final challenge. What is it this time? A dragon, perhaps? Nay, you've already proven your strength and courage. Now I test your character. Well, that's a refreshing change from the slaughter. You cannot die during this test, but if you fail, I shall not pass my legacy to you. Also note that no one has ever passed this test. Ever. Well, that's encouraging. Let's get on with it. I like that I can be a little sarcastic. Very well. You must go to the end of the hall alone and retrieve for me the flower given to me by my lady love years ago. That's it. You may not leave the challenge before obtaining the flower, or you will fail the test and you will not receive my boon. Well, that seems simple enough. You have nothing to worry about, but I'll teleport you to the test area. Do not be alarmed. Oh. I think I know how this is going to go, but let's see if I'm right. Like I said, I've played a lot of virtue quests and games. Oh, let's talk. Bidek Dabble. Hi there, you got a minute? What are you doing down here? I've been trying to figure out how to get the damn treasure, that's what. Have you tried doing the Spirits Knight's test? If I played by the rules, I would have. I tried fighting the bloody Minotaur, but nearly got killed in the process. I didn't even want to try the test of fear. There's an easier way, if you're interested. I could use some help. I reckon I know how to break into the vault. So there's evil, there's chaotic, there's normal, there's good, there's lawful. Go with the good one. The spirit hangs around for years, waiting and watching with such dedication, and you want to steal from him? Well, you sure put me in my place. Go on then. Get yourself into trouble. See if I care. They're kind of sanctimonious, but still. Let's see. A wounded man. Interesting.
It's a
Please.
long day.
Oh, thank God. I thought no one would ever find me down here. You don't look so great. Are you ill? I was attacked by one of the savages down south. They've taken over this whole area, so I came down here to hide and mend my wounds. Do you need further healing? That's kind of you to offer. I'm okay, just weak from hunger and worry. I've got to get back to my family in Braxford. Well, the way's clear behind me. There's nothing stopping you. You know, let's go with the good option. I'm not going to leave him. Hi, Too Many Daves. Sorry, I didn't mean to. You can't put yourself in his place. You're too tall. That's true. That's true. Sorry, I didn't mean to ignore you. I wasn't looking at my phone. So I'm going to go with the good option. The test of valor that no one passes. I've played a lot of Ultima testing games. I actually think helping this guy is more. You're spectating? Hi, Reshke. Oh, okay. Glad to hear Too Many Daves. So let's see. Like I said, I've played a lot of Ultima Virtue tests, so I think I kind of know how this goes. I wish I were good enough to just pick the good answer anyway, but I'm going to help him. Saints be praised. Thank you so much. Come along, let's move. Oh, that guy got teleported out. Okay.
I welcome you.
Ah, there we go. I called it. I know how these virtue tests go. I was the avatar many times over. Maybe one day I'll play them for stream. I know how to pass the virtue test. Now, whether or not it really counts as passing if you already know what the good answer is, well, that's a different question. Well done. Everyone else ignored the wounded man and failed the test. I mean, the little parentheses good part was a little bit of a clue, so I'm thinking maybe I would have taken that one out. Well, yeah, but so are all the Ultima Virtue quests, Rashke. I think the only problem is the clue with the good in parentheses, I think, was a bit too much of a giveaway. I think if that one didn't have that, it would have been better. Or if the others had were also like good points or something, even though. All right. Well done. Everyone else ignored the wounded man and failed the test. At least from my point of view. Kings and rules and laws come and go, but the only thing that matters is life. Remember that in your quest. I couldn't ignore the wounded man, in spite of your explicit orders. Your compassion is proving you worthy. You know when to break the rules, and that's a quality I find appealing. Respectfully, sir, I find that rather odd. How did you, a knight of the crown, come to view law and order with such disdain? Fair point. Well, madam, living under the reign of a king that used the law to work his own ends does tend to make one somewhat jaded. I think I understand your point. Even so many years removed of life, I can tell you that you are disappointed with my actions, madam. All I can tell you is that when the kingdom faces what is to come, you will truly understand what I went through. Yeah, um, the mod didn't have the parentheticals you wish. I get that. I mean, it kind of goes both ways because there are times when a shift is completely unreasonable. Like there's one in the original campaign that I reverse every time. Um, I think people do tend to complain if you're too heavy with the module with moral shifts that they don't agree with. This goes a little too far in the other direction. I think that it's a bit too easy to power game. But that said, I mean, I'm picking options I think I would have picked anyway. I'm not prioritize like really, if I were min-maxing, I would probably have picked the lawful one because it's usually a lot harder to get lawful points than it is to get good points in a module. But I felt like the good option might worked better. But I mean, you are right. It is a little on the nose. Well, I guess it's just a stylistic thing. It doesn't defeat my enjoyment of it, but I probably do feel the same way as you ultimately. I think it would be a bit nicer if it wasn't so clearly labeled. Hmm, is what it is. All right. Are you saying you know the future? Is something going to happen? Something's always going to happen, Paladin. It's the duty of the people such as you and Nellis here to prepare and to defend the people during such times. I will be ready for whatever comes, Spirit. So what is this reward over which people have died? It's in the door to the south, near where you came in. Here's the key. If I may ask, what happened to you that caused the king to send you into exile? He ordered me to quell an uprising in the village of my birth, in spite of the fact that the people were starving. Instead, I sent food that was earmarked for a royal banquet to the village and saved their lives. That was very charitable of you. A pity it cast you into disgrace. Things turned out for the best, though. I enjoyed my life much more in the local community and was of great service to the people. And now I can finally depart this world, knowing that my legacy will continue. Good luck to you, and farewell. Rest well, Sir Knight. Yeah, that's true. Sometimes it's fun to pick the opposite shifts just for the dialogue, and you can accept a few points in there. It's true. I mean, I will reverse a module or I will reverse a moral shift from dialogue if I don't agree with it. You've seen me do it. I feel no shame in that because in a real tabletop, if my dungeon master tried to do that, I would argue, and I'm a good arguer. But I don't mind it if I feel like it's warranted with the dialogue, and I've taken shifts when it felt appropriate to the character. By spirit, yeah. Yeah, he was kind of condemned to this fate when his mother named him Spirit. You would argue that I'm not. What do you mean? I think I'm playing Justinian to the way I defined him. He's kind of a surly sort of paladin, I think. He has a past. Oh, dumb joke. Fair enough. Oh, about me being a good arguer, and you said, yeah, I see, and you would argue that I'm not. I see. I missed that. No, no, I'm a good arguer. I'm just bad at jokes. I'm a professional arguer, thank you. Actually, that part of the job I've never been particularly good at. I'm good at drafting shit, though. All right. I'm kind of feeling like I want to go back to town and shed some of the loot I already have. There's a sarcophagus and a chest. Look in the sarcophagus. Ooh, maybe it's armor that's going to be lighter than the bullshit I'm wearing right now. That'd be nice. All right, let's see. So, those do look pretty, don't they? Those look like proper paladin gear, don't they? I think I like that. All right, let's move some shit. All right. A tower shield versus missiles. I like that.
I can't bear this much weight and keep up.
Wait, you're fucking bitching. Okay, we'll look at everything more in depth once I have them sorted. All right, Sword of Valor.
Bear this much weight and keep up.
Quit complaining, you fuckhead. All right. Anyway, let's strip naked and see what we're doing. 26 is my AC now. Archaic full plate. Ooh, look at that. Dating from a century ago, this design reflects the period of artistic experimentation of the time. They carry a respectable defensive enchantment and are highly sought after relics. So we got armor bonus +2 on hit electric jolt. Oh, cool. I can zap people. It's like static cling. Transactional work for life. Most drafting it. Yeah, I mean, 90% of what I do is template work. Yeah. Every once in a while, you get to draft something new. Actually, I think 90% of what I do just involves reassuring people. All right, so we've got a large metal shield, which is quite nice, but we're going to get rid of that. And that armor is 2 AC higher. That's nice. All right, tower shield versus missiles. The Knights of Aielund are well known to prefer melee combat to the use of bows. They're not restrained by a code. They just prefer to make good use of their shiny armor. Knowing this, enemies often come at them with bows and other ranged weapons. To counter this, a few special shields have been made over the years to deflect some such attacks. Oh, armor, but whoa, plus for piercing. I like that. And I know the barbarians use ranged weapons, so that's going to be quite helpful. I'm honestly going to miss this +1 of strength, but that's all right. Because I'm guessing this is going to be nice too. Helm of Presence. Oh, charisma. And discipline +1. Elegantly designed to enhance the wearer's appearance, this magnificent helm was once worn by a knights of old while parading before the king. It kind of looks like a bag over my head. I'm going to leave that aside as to whether that's an improvement to my looks. Bespoke drafting is so well, though. Client belly rubs is the bulk. Ah, yeah, mostly. Especially what I do. Which is nice, actually. I like clients. They're pretty good. Gauntlets of Overpower. Well, definitely nice. Well, that one's... Oh, Kalimshan. Reference to a different world. That's okay.
I can't bear this much weight and keep up.
Alright, and we have a haze. I'm gonna miss that axe. I kinda liked it. But let's see what the Sword of Valor does. Bludgeoning. Saving throws fear. Well, I mean, the other one I think is a little nicer with the haze, but for role-playing purposes, we'll go with this one. I won it after all, I might as well. So let's see. Who would benefit from the gear I had before? Now let's you actually use shields sometimes, so let's give you a shield worth anything. Um, do you really need strength? Probably not, but you could probably use more armor because you're kind of flimsy, and you are my healer. Dante. Oh no, I was already really encumbered. Rashka even I. Well, maybe. You might have. I admit to nothing. Actually, I gotta be careful. I, I think I think some of that might get me disbarred. Jokes, of course. Alright. Ah, God, I'm still encumbered. No, I was encumbered before. The gloves actually made me slightly less encumbered, which was why the message popped up. My God, this is fucking heavy. 50 pounds, no wonder. Oh, I'm gonna miss this spell resist, but that's okay. Alright, so I'm thinking I might go back to town before going on against the barbarians, because everyone's very slow. Oh, Wand of Ice Storm. Well, none of us can use that, but it's pretty. Technically, technically that won't quite work. Uh, well, the problem is when you're rich and very well connected, you can get away with things a lot more. Um, I think a normal attorney like me, who did half of what Giuliani did, would have gotten disbarred a long time ago. But connections are connections. Not that I'm admitting to anything. Shit. Well, that's all right. I think I've said what I do for a living before. And it's not. That's all I'll say about that. All right. Yeah. Yeah. So let's see. I want to sell shit. I think I'll just go to the scribe. I feel like if I sell shit, the more shit I sell to the same person, the easier it'll be to find them again if I need it. Like if you sell something wrong. So let's sell them to Dale Amerfin. After some more equipment, I see. Sure am. I was rereading that tome I have on the Exiled Knight recently, and amazingly, while I was reading it, the most incredible thing happened. Really? Well, the last passage changed, and it reads that the Eternal Knight has been freed from his eternal the blah. All right. Well, the last passage changed, and it reads that the exiled knight has been freed from his eternal vigilance, whatever that may mean. I don't suppose you know anything about that. Indeed. Just so happens that I did manage to free his soul, so I guess that's the end of that story. Then I'll have to add your name onto the end of the tome as the hero who performed such a valiant deed. May not be much, but a passing bard may one day sing your praises. I wish you well in your future endeavors, Justinian Kane. I am honored, great sage, equal of heaven. Alright, now let's look at his shit. Yes. Alright. Hello, Sparkly Wallflower. Alright, we've got shit to sell. Dante, you've got shit to sell. Let's get rid of your shit. I think I'm gonna keep your... Honestly, I think I'll just let you keep the... No, you're gonna keep Haze. That's what you're gonna keep. Let's sell the Great Axe. Sell the Great Axe. Sell the rusted full plate. Oh, it actually sells for pretty good, considering it's rusted. Let's see. A bow of not too bad. Battle axes of getting rid of those. I'll let you keep your shield, I guess. Instead of leather +1, leather armor +2. Which one's better? I guess it's the same. I will let you keep the armor +2. Barbarian hide. Another shield. Camouflage armor. We'll let you keep your stuff, even though it's kind of useless. Longbow. Short bow. Have some hand axes. For 5 gold. Alright, maybe I'll let you keep your swords and 1 battle axe, and we'll see what you like to use better. I hope you use Haze, though, because that's a fucking badass axe. Alright. It is magically rusted. Actually, if you did you see the character model though when I was wearing that? It actually looked rusted. That's very good. You rarely see evil choices in games done well. It's usually that's true. There are a few though. There's a post Hordes of the Underdark series that I got to play with Vipsania way back when. If you ever want to see the VODs, they're on my YouTube channel under Faerun's Mom of the Year playlist. And it's called The Gods Themselves. And I think that one was really quite good in terms of evil dialogue and such. Now I like Blackguard, but that is very much cartoonist. It's like you don't play Blackguard if you want to be subtle evil. Um, there were a few others I thought. Usually I think the best subtle towards types of evil are the ones where you can play the campaign as good or evil, in my opinion. All right. Last Dark. I like the Last Dark. A Hunt Through the Dark. Yeah, that was actually good. You could play that as good or evil, and there was enough wiggle room. That said, I was accidentally neutral by the end. In my defense, well, no, you can actually play A Hunt Through the Dark pretty good, I think. I saw a lot of places where you could be basically Drist. Blackguard is fun cartoon evil though, to be fair. It's not it's That's one of those it's like reading a review of Hot Frosty, the Netflix movie. It's like it's funny because negative reviews and positive reviews say exactly the same thing about it. But for the most part the reviews are positive, mostly because the reviews are all it's incredibly stupid schlock, but it's exactly what it's advertised to be. And I do think that's funny. It's Hot Frosty. It's one of the Christmas rom-coms that's on Netflix. At least in America. I think in Canada too. Um, and it stars the guy who played the vet on Schitt's Creek as a snowman. It is exactly as stupid as it sounds. Yep. I feel like Blackguard is in a similar vein. Not that it's stupid. I don't actually think Blackguard's stupid. I think it's very clever, especially a lot of those puzzles. But it's definitely something where you are playing the character that's being advertised. It's not subtle. All right, let's sell the Lesser Ring of Wizardry because I I think at some point in the future I'm gonna get a wizard companion, but it's gonna be a long way off. So we're not gonna hold on to stuff for like 3 modules. You like the gameplay more than the story? That's fair. I thought actually there were some really clever bits to the story too, though. Especially the stinger at the very end. I thought that was really really clever. I thought the fact that since you're working for a god, it make it he actually set up a nice situation where it makes sense that your comrades aren't screwing you over for pettiness like you'd usually expect. Oh, doesn't have enough gold to purchase that item. Well, that's gonna be annoying. Let's identify the belt. Oh, Archer's belt, piercing resist. Forgotten Realms reference, but that's okay. Arrow +2. We'll keep those. You never know. Um, got a lot of ammunition. Oh, let's see what the amulet does. Amulet of Vitality 2. Oh. Oh, no, Waterdeep. Okay. Not this world building, but that's okay. And I've got one more set of armor unidentified. Breastplate +1. Medium armor. Oh, fuck. No, don't go away. Ah! Sorry. I need to sell that shit. Alright, here we go. Oh, more of the dialogue. Story had some good moments. I mean, that's fair. I think it's very much you are playing a very specific role, I think, when you are playing in Blackguard. And if you're on board to play that specific role, then it's fine. I think it's exactly as advertised. But if you want a more subtle type of evil, I get that. But yeah, the gods themselves is pretty good. Oh, you never wear them if you have anything else that's decent. That's fair. Me too, actually. But I don't have any other belts, so it works fine for now. The gods themselves I thought was really good. The third one is a bit more low key than the first two, but I thought it really actually kind of worked well. Like my character ended where she ended. I thought it made a great point where I could imagine future adventures, Whereas, being Queen of Khania was quite nice for a while, but it really is a retirement stage. But yeah, I thought the monastery being brought down to that level after being Queen of Khania, because I was playing a female character in that one. Um, I felt like it was appropriate for the character. It felt like hubris had come to roost, and now you're building up again. I found those modules very satisfying. So, I could see the downshift being jarring, but yeah, Sparkly Wallflower. I It's very specifically a post Hordes of the Underdark trilogy, and like I said, I did it with the character I took through Shadows of Undertide and Horde of the Underdark. So it's in my playlist for Vipsania, and but it's really good. It Like I said, it takes you from being if it's assuming you took the ending of Hordes. Yep, didn't land with you, and that's fair. That's fair. That part. Yeah, it's a continuation of the evil ending where you become the ruler of Khania. So, there's a bit of spoilers, I suppose, in what we were talking about. Actually, it's funny because I saw a review bitching about it, going, if you liked where your character ended in Hordes of the Underdark, don't play this module. And it's like, of course it's not good. I mean, okay, I do think it could be fun to play a module where you are legitimately trying to rule Kania and what that would likely entail, but this is an adventure game. You gotta lose things to go back on adventures sometimes. I thought it was fun. And I thought a lot of the evil options were quite clever in that game. And I have to say, there was a really wonderful moment in like I don't remember if it was the first or second, but you have a prisoner. And I'm not going to spoil who the prisoner is. Ah, fair enough, Sparky. But there's a prisoner, and you have the prisoner, and it's someone you could theoretically try to talk to try to fool. Yep. Well, the thing was that I thought was amazingly clever is I'd gotten one of the henchmen as my henchman. So one of the demons was following me around. So I talked to that character and I'm trying to convince her that I'm a good guy. And she's like, "Well, then why are you being followed by a demon?" And I'm like, "Okay, fair." That was quite good. There were some other beats too, and I actually what I really liked about that game is that I could see where the bad decision was coming in that was going to bring the downfall. And I tried to be clever. And the funny thing is, the way I tried to be clever was written in as part. I guess the module writer I think had a couple of scenarios for how you'd fall, and the path I thought that was oh so clever was specifically what they called me out on, and I'm like, oh, that's great. That was very, very clever. I definitely like a hunt through the dark if you're playing an evil character. Though like I said, I accidentally became neutral at the end. But there are a lot of options there, and like Dave said, the good options are the sneakily subversive stuff in the hunt through the dark because you're playing a drow, and you're surrounded by drow. So, you can't be overtly Drizzt like, but there's a lot of options if you wanted to play a Drizzt character, which I thought was really great. And it kind of made me want to replay it like that. I played the character I played was a male drow, and I played him as a Varun follower. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the name right, but we'll leave it like that. With the idea, and it's funny, even before it turned out the way it did, I had the idea that he was a Varun follower who was keeping quiet about it. It is. It's definitely very different. I liked it best of them. I thought 1 through 5 were good, but they were a little wide open. Never go full risk. Well, you could if you want to. Um, I thought that there was a lot of really neat parts to the earlier ones, but there were parts that just kind of felt a little empty and stretched out. But when we got to the action, it was quite good. But Myth Draenor was amazing. The funny thing about Myth Drannor, though, is that I ended up siding with the Dawnspire, despite the fact that they were good guys, because I felt my character was more offended by the Zents. Oh, I can see that. I can see that. It felt like, well, yeah, I won't argue. It was very, very good. Um, but it's like, I think the logic behind the character's reaction was that, of course, the Dawnspire are going to distrust you for coming up to the surface and being a drow because, you know, you did come up there to kill everybody. So it's not like they're wrong. But the Zents were like, we're just assholes to you for just the sake of being assholes, and I got offended. So I decided that since my god's instruction was to make friends essentially and be subversive, I would be absolutely subversive, and there you go. What I really liked is that the ending took my choice into account, and he was like, that was a good choice. And I felt like my character finally, getting to openly serve a god who actually valued that sort of thing was a good moment for him. Now, how the fuck do I get up here? I'm sure. Oh, no, I don't get up there, do I? I go south. I'm a fucking idiot. Okay. All right, so these are all theoretically going into the same place. I've been trying for 10 minutes to get up to a thing that I'm not supposed to get up to. All right. Yep, I'm a fucking moron. It's probably a good thing that I'm only playing for 2 hours. Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think I don't think the original campaign was bad. I think it was a little bland, but I also think that that they were trying to make something that would, well, one, I think the official campaign was less about the story in and of itself and more about showcasing what you could do with the tool set. I kind of think that that's what the official campaign was. Um, but also, I think that they were trying really hard to make something that felt like a tabletop adventure that you could do with multiple characters and that you could do with a very wide variety of characters. Yeah. And that, I mean, I'm really thinking the OC with that. I thought Shadows of Undertide and Hordes of the Underdark were better. For me, anyway, more enjoyable. I felt like they had a bit more direction and were a bit more ambitious. But I mean, at the same time, they are they are built very multi-purpose. 'Cause- Yes, I think so too. Shadows and Hordes were telling specific stories more than the official campaign. I think so. I think Shadows of Undertide was the crispest of the storytelling, though I liked a lot of the turns that Hordes took, especially in Kania. Oh, Deacon, yes. And actually, though I didn't play it with Vipsania, I actually found the romance with Valen very satisfying. And it's funny because usually when you have the female romance and the male romance, because of course they didn't let you do same-sex romance. Um, Oh, you're saying the official campaign was designed to be very friendly to random multiplayer so people could drop in and out when actual multiplayer games were thin on the ground. I think it does very well for that purpose. I would agree with that. And you like a lot of the Camp OC because it captures that apocalyptic scenario better. I really do too. I think if I'm looking at the OC in parts, I really like it. Like the first chapter I thought was great. I think the second one, the Port Last chapter, I was less into. But anything in Neverwinter proper, I thought was great. I think it's just the problem was it was very formulaic. It's like, all right, well, Charwood was really good though. Charwood, the thing with the brothers and the and everything that was really good plot. If I'm thinking of the right thing, yeah. Hmm. Yes, the Charwood is the thing I'm thinking of. Yeah. Um, I think that I think the problem I had mostly with the OC, aside from it feeling a little disjointed, it's like I thought there were really good segments that didn't really knit together all that well. I mean, I was fairly invested in the Arabeth plot. That's one where I definitely recommend playing a man so you can get. It's not a full romance, which is why I played romance modules afterwards, but I feel like the seed of the romance is more satisfying than what the girls get with Aaron Gend, even though I think Aaron Gend is hot, personally. Um, it's definitely more satisfying romance in that respect. I can. What are you doing? Oh, you're just curling yourself up in. Okay, all right. I got a cat. Um, what am I saying? Yes. But yeah, I felt like it didn't really hold together well, and it was a little too obvious in its structure. Like each time you go to a hub town, you go into three directions. You get the piece of the MacGuffin, you bring it back, and you move on. I thought Shadow, yeah. I mean, Shadows of Undertide was also MacGuffin um, hunting, admittedly. I thought they hit it a little better though. It didn't feel as much like like the same sort of repetitiveness as the I actually like the later parts of Shadows of Undertide. I do think the OC did a better job of tying the MacGuffin hunting together, but I felt like there were stronger beats, connective beats in Shadows of Undertide, just in terms of like the narrative cohesion, especially with Drogon and Deacon. Deacon, definitely. That could be. It could be the encounter design. So I kind of tangented into the romance aspect. And the funny thing about Shadows and Hordes is I do think the romance is more satisfying if you're playing a female character. It's funny because the men get two options. The men get Nathira and Erebeth later on, or version of Erebeth. But they both kind of like Nathira is not to me a very strong character. Oh, you heard that they had to cut a lot of the early Academy story because of time. I could see that. I could see that. It did seem like there was probably more planned for that, which is a shame. It would have been cool to see. Um, Nathira was a cool idea, but I think she was pretty bland. And Arabeth was I thought a stronger dynamic, but you only get her in the third chapter. Where Valing you get two of them, but I thought the men get both. It was cut out by a bug. Yeah, I mean the men get both, but I didn't feel like either was individually all that satisfying because I've played all three. Whereas I thought Valen was the more I think because he was more established and had a bit more of that conflict in the second chapter. He felt got a lot more development I felt than Nathira did, and I think he was since he was in two chapters, he had it stronger than Erebeth did. So that was one where I actually think the female option was better, even though there was only one of them. Thera was likable. I just don't feel like she was as strong a presence as Valen if you're playing with both of them. And of course, since hi, hello, sorry, I am distracted by a kitten. Hi, hello. Look at those big eyes looking at me. Okay. Yeah. Hey, there's nothing wrong with liking the attractive lady type. The Erebeth romance in Horde, I thought it had some good beats actually. I thought the romantic beats were stronger than Nathira's, unfortunately. But they were only in the third chapter. So, and of course, if I'm gonna romance Erebeth, I'd rather play one of the romance modules anyway. In the end, I think Redemption was a bit more to my taste than Revival, though Redemption did have a few quirks to get past. But overall, I thought it was really good. And it has the advantage of having a creator that's still pretty involved with the community. So if you have an issue, he will usually respond. Where I think the revival author may have left the community, which is sad. I mean, I hope they're doing good things. Valen was catnip for the female romance fans. The I can fix him here. Oh yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, I think he hit a good balance of being stoic but angsty, um, being noble but a little bad boy. So you kind of get the best of both worlds because sometimes it goes a little too far in the other direction. Like if you're looking at Neverwinter Nights 2, now granted they never finished the other romances, which is a shame because Nishka would have been much better to romance than the fucking elf lady. the pedophile elf lady if you're playing a character who isn't an elf. Sorry. But of the male options there, I think Casimir was quite bland, but Bishop was annoying as fuck, and I just wanted to smack him. I know, right? I feel like Nishko would have been the most fun romance to play in that one. Um, Eleni, I mean, I feel like there could be interesting aspects to that, but I'd almost rather read that as a story than play it. And because hopefully the story would kind of address the fact that it's a little bit dicey. Yep, Valen isn't the typical goody two shoes paladin knight romance that female characters get. And Bishop, so well you love hated it. Yeah, I mean Bishop was well written. I just hated him. I did like Casimir because, unfortunately, I have boring tastes. Casimir I thought was a pretty decent character. But I do think he was as a romance option quite bland. But I liked him as an overall example of a paladin. I thought they did a good job of making him a paladin without going cartoonish in it. Yeah, even if you're playing an elf, she's been stalking you from childhood. Yeah, they are tropey. They are. I mean, I liked them. One of these days, maybe I'll find a way to install a version of Neverwinter Nights 2 that'll play on my computer and play that too. Because I am more. I've mentioned this before. I'm more Neverwinter Nights 1 than Neverwinter Nights 2, but I'm not partisan about it. I like both. I think the Neverwinter Nights 2 official campaign is better. No question. No question. Hi, can you not get caught in my sleeve? I need my hand back to play. Oh, no. No, you stay here now. You climbed into my lap. I'm not letting you leave. You've never had any issue with GOG's version? You know, I should try that. Mask of the Betrayer is good. And it has Kalimvor. Oh, the creepy druid. Yeah, well, that's who we're talking about, the elf lady. Uh, Actually, now I kind of want to play it and play a guy so that we can play the creepy romance. Mask of the Betrayer is very good, and I'm a big fan of Kalimvor as a character. He was the one saving grace of the utterly abysmal Avatar trilogy. The fourth and fifth books were good, but they're not in the trilogy. Crucible was amazing. Actually, it occurs to me that Crucible, the trial of Sirik the Mad, oh, the freezing wind here cuts through you like a knife. It's difficult to see through the driving snow. Okay, interesting. Um, I feel like actually Crucible and Mask of the Betrayer have a lot of similar beats, and I feel like I remember Kalimvor actually getting rid of the Wall of the Faithless in Crucible, but that's okay. It made for a really good story, so it's one of those retcons that you're like, all right, fine. Oh, I should have bought a warm cloak, huh? Oops. Well, I didn't think about it, so we're all gonna die. I did not save either, did I? All right, well, we're gonna save by the exit so that if I die of hypothermia, I can go back. I did not think of. Oh, cool. It's actually Chandrajero. Chandrajero is good. I actually really like the keep part. I don't know. I always like the build the stronghold part stuff, like Suikoden. I've always been a big fan of Suikoden. All right, I think this is not gonna work. I think I'm gonna end up having to go back. Ultima Serpent's Isle did this too with the cold, and you had to buy special cold weather gear. I quite like that. All right, we're gonna go back to town and see if I can get a fucking warm cloak, cause that was getting kind of multiplicative in damage. Oh, the gnome. The gnome was cute. Okay, well, you know, I have a fight room in my Discord if you want to fight it out. You're more than welcome to. Um, let's see. I can't remember who my favorite. I did like the gnome. I thought he was cute. I always like gnomes. Um, who did I like? I liked Casimir. Like I said, I just didn't feel like he was a satisfying romance option. Bishop, I wanted to hit with a brick. He was well written though. I just don't. Sand? Yeah, I liked Sand. And I actually, it's funny, but I found Kara a lot more sympathetic than I think a lot of people did. It's like, I thought she was well written too. And I was a little sad that you couldn't keep both. Honestly, though, I kind of felt like uh, it makes more sense when she turns on you if you've got Sand on your side than vice versa. Because Sand's issues with Kara are never really, I think, laid out well enough. So when he turns on you, it's just like, what? Hmm. I think so too. That's why I think it's a shame because I think Sand is a really likable character. It's kind of nice that you can only pick one of the two, but his reasons for turning are kind of crap. I still say that. Sorry. All right, so linens and such. So maybe no, we're not going to say that. Maybe what have you got? All right. So do you have anything warm cloak related? If not, I don't really know what to do. Winter cloak. Okay, 95. At least it's cheap. One, two, three. In Serpent's Isle, the 7.5 Ultima game, hits and decimals. Um, oh yeah, Grosvenor is awesome. And yeah, Sans just jealous. That's true. That's true. Um, there is a point where you go north and you have to buy fur boots, a hat, and a cloak there too. So I do rather like that. It remind I like anything that reminds me of one of my favorite games, Serpent's Isle. When I was 14, I sent my computer through a loop trying to play that game on a post Windows 95 machine. I didn't have DOSBox, so I was really sad. Yeah. So let's see. Love Nishka. Sand was great. Castlevania and Kelgar were tropey but fun. You didn't like Grosvenor. Oh. Bishop was amazing to hate. Or Chandra. Yeah, Chandra was a great character. I can't remember how you pronounce the poor cleric lady. And Eleni was awful. Eleni was obnoxious. That's why I'm kind of thinking that if I do play Neverwinter Nights 2 on stream, and maybe I will after Aielund Saga. Because now I'm thinking about it, and I'm kind of really into the idea. So I'll have to see if my GOG version will install better on this machine than my old one. Um, Now I'm kind of thinking I do want to play it. Um, it might be interesting to try to do an Eleni romance and see if I like her any better. I kind of doubt it, but you never know. I do rather like normal guy goddess type women romances in general. So hence my X-Men love. That's pretty much all the pairings in X-Men. Um, so maybe I'll like it. I don't know. It'll be interesting to give it a shot. The cleric lady, I didn't hate her because I like Gith Sarai in general. I just kind of felt like they didn't really do much with her. She got introduced too late to really do much with, and I kind of feel like they were hoping that we'd remember the guy from Torment more, and I can't. Oh, you love the evil necromancer gnome in Zahir? 2 lines of dialogue. Aw, Kara doesn't have dialogue if you're a sorcerer? That's a shame. I thought she was Zerai, but is she Yankee? I thought she was Gith Sarai. I still felt like they were trying to channel whatever the fuck his name was, though. Um, Dagon. Funny thing is, I read the tie-in book before I played Planescape Torment. It wasn't bad. I definitely pictured the Gith different than they actually were, but that's okay. I like the Gith. I like all the Gith. Gith are fun. Well, that explains it. That's why she was a little annoying. um, I've never played Zahir. It looks really fun. The Let's Play Archive, lparchive.org for I think it's for the Something Awful forums. You don't like BG3's gift stuff? Aw. Oh, I didn't know they had gift stuff in BG3. That's something to look for. Um, let's see. Yeah, sorry. The LP archive, though it hasn't been updated in like a couple years now, but it's still there from the Something Awful forums, I believe. They have some screenshot RPGs, or screenshot Let's Plays, which are my favorite kind of Let's Play. Um, I mean, the video ones are fun, but they're time consuming, whereas a screenshot one you can just read at your leisure. But screenshot ones take forever to do because I tried to do a screenshot let's play. I did a screenshot let's play of Akalabeth, which if you've ever played it, oh here we go, never mind, is the kind of Ultima Zero done in like 1979. There is no content to it. It still took me forever to do like a one part let's play of that game, and I realized that screenshot let's plays are really really work intensive. But fun, fun. Okay, we're doing 0. Okay, good. Okay. I keep seeing the numbers and I get worried. But okay, we're just doing 0. And the one they have for Neverwinter Nights 2 and Mask of the Betrayer is quite good. I really like their Zahir one though that they have posted. A different person did it than the Neverwinter Night 2 and Mask of the Betrayer one though. But that's okay. It's probably worth noting that the Neverwinter Nights 2 Let's Play is somewhat critical. The person really liked Mask of the Betrayer, but was kind of lukewarm. They do, however, take a lot of pot shots to Neverwinter Nights 1, which they were not a fan of at all, which I guess is fair. um, Neverwinter Nights 1, I think, is great for the fan content. You don't play like, the original campaign is not the selling point. We all know that. But, their Zahir run was really fun. I like anything where they write, like the folks who do the Let's Play kind of create dialogue interactions between their created characters. I think that's so much fun. There's a YouTuber, Kikoskia, who did most of his Let's Plays are not role played, but he did the Eye of the Eye of the Beholder trilogy, the gold box versions, and did like full on verbal role play during it for the 4 characters, and I thought that was quite a very, very fun. Frontal assault will be suicide. There must be another way in. Okay, well, I guess we'll have to find one. Because, yeah, you're right. We probably wouldn't survive that. Dante, carry that. We'll carry this. But they made Zahir look so much fun. Oh, it's Shadows of Zahir. I was calling it Storms of Zahir. I'm silly. But they did make it look so fun. So I do want to try that. I've never played it myself. There we go. The only thing I don't like about Mask of the Betrayer, though, is that you don't get the, like... Oh, it is Storms. Okay. No, that's okay. The only thing I don't like about Mask of the Betrayer, I know, blasphemy, is that, if I remember correctly, a lot of the choice options were limited by your whatever alignment you were already. So if you were good, then you didn't really get a lot of the evil choices at all. And if you were evil, you didn't get a lot of the good choices at all. And I felt like that was limiting. I mean, I'm the person who played Hunt Through the Dark as a Varun evil elf the whole way through and accidentally turned myself neutral. But I feel like I remember that. Maybe that's not true, and maybe there's a way to fix that. Like, maybe there's like a console setting I can adjust, and or a mod somewhere that I could free up both, because I think it would be fun to explore both options. Well, I mean, that said, if I remember correctly, you really don't want to you don't want to play neutral if with that curse. It's like you either have to play good, which I think is easier. Because you don't succumb to the curse as much, or you got to play evil and pretty much eat everybody. Because if you half-ass evil, you're gonna be fucked. Kind of like Mass Effect, I think. It's like you kind of have to go Paragon or Renegade, but if you half-ass it, you're not going to get anywhere. Well, no, that's not true, because if you play too much Renegade, you have no army, and by the end of Mass Effect 3. Good with suppression is the easiest way. Yeah, that's what I vaguely remember. I just want to make sure that but I'd like to be able to see all the options. It's like I would like to be able to play someone who just kind of loses it. I'm not saying I would play it. I just want to have the option. All right, so let's see. I've heard that. Okay, your name is not, or my name is not Lily is the best Let's Player you watch. That's cool. That's cool. I don't watch anybody who's specifically a Neverwinter Nights person only. I've watched Let's Roleplay is a streamer who has done Neverwinter Nights and Skyrim and others, and like full on vocal role plays for the whole thing, and that's pretty spectacular to watch. I am envious of that. The only catch with that, like, I would love to have that kind of talent, but the only catch for that is that, um, well, in either case, it's like he can't really play a convincing woman, I'm suspecting, with the kind of deep, gravelly voice, not gravelly, but deep voice that he has. I mean, not that a woman can't have a deep voice, but well, no, now I think maybe I'm being accidentally transphobic or something. Um, so I guess he could, but it's a lot harder. I think, and it's harder for me to play male characters if I'm trying to fully voice them. Even though I like playing a variety, as you've seen. If I were trying to seriously voice act, I think that would be a little tricky. But maybe it's just a lack of imagination on my part. Yep, that person I'm thinking of did those two. He did Skyrim as well. No, I know you can devour the bear and could do the Soulforge stuff cuz so you can get one of many. But I thought some of the options later on you couldn't get. But maybe I'm completely misremembering. And if so, that's great. Um, Another one, there's a guy called Fluent who's done a few Neverwinter Nights modules, which I thought was really helpful. There's another guy, I can't remember his name. It was Paul something, and he actually played a string of Neverwinter Nights modules that was very similar to how I think I stole his mod order to play my Halloween modules with Sebastian because I ended up playing a few of them a little too higher than I was supposed to, but it worked together so well. I think I stole his mod order. Hi, Mr. Crappy. That'd be nice. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. You'd be really good at the voices. So, um, but yeah, that guy's role play is just great. He has a Skyrim one that I've been wanting to watch too. Um, but yeah, a lot of the YouTubers I watch more generally are multi. Um, One of my favorite, I did mention Kokoski earlier because of the Eye of the Beholder thing. He did Neverwinter Nights and Shadows of Undertide as well. I thought he was really good. He's one of those that I'll be crushed if he turns out to be a Nazi. I don't think he is, but that's always the worry when you're watching a YouTube Let's Player that he's gonna turn out to be a Nazi. Like, please don't be a Nazi. Just please don't. It's like just don't be, please. That's you're always kind of watching it going, all right, so what is this doing to my recommendeds? And if you see a lot of right-wing people in your recommending, you're like, oh fuck, who did I watch? That was the wrong one. Mm. Oh, and he got someone like you, a veteran, to care about the OC story. His narration and roleplay was phenomenal. Definitely. Thank you, Mr. Crappy. I'm glad it amused you. But it is. It's a risk sometimes with the YouTubers. Like what's his name? The Swedish guy that everyone loved, and he just turned out to be a fucking asshole. And you're like, A, it's not funny if you didn't mean it. And it starts to become when you make the same joke too many times, it starts to look like you mean it, dude. Yeah, really. Shame real life got into the way of his YouTube. Oh, that the Let's Player. Well, hopefully real life will give him a chance to come back for us. I hope so anyway, because he's very entertaining. I haven't watched him in a while though. I should dig out his playlists. I also like the Skyrim Grandma. She retired, I think. I don't think she's playing Skyrim anymore. I think she finally got sick of it. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she came back to it. I hope so. But I mean, I can't blame her for getting sick of it because she'd been playing for like a decade or more. Oh, YouTube on your Windows keeps recommending those rabbit holes. I, th- yeah, yeah, that's the guy I'm thinking of, Mr. Krabby. But there are a couple of others. Um, one and there's a Twitch streamer, and I'm a little worried I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this. Maybe I'll get sued. I don't know. There's this Twitch streamer that I'm 99% certain is, who, not anyone I follow or we follow, but one of the big names who did World of Warcraft and then did Final Fantasy 14 for a little while. Because he had the stream recently where he was talking about a different game. And I don't, someone like posted this comment in his chat about, you know, 4chan's right, you are a Jew or something like that. And you're like, well, already that's like out of line. And he reads it out loud and he goes, let me set things straight right now. I am not a Jew. I'm a German. I'm the opposite of Jewish. And you're like, what the fuck does that mean? And I ranted about this in my Path of Exile stream too. It's like, there is no way I'm reading that. And it's like, well, one, why is the assumption offensive to you? Oh, you haven't had that experience? Yeah, that guy has definitely. I think it comes like if you see that pop up in your recommendeds though, and it has to do with something that you've watched. If someone that you've watched has a lot of likes that are right wing, then you'll see a lot of that in your recommendations. So if you can figure out who it is, then you can, stop watching them and your recommendations should clear up pretty soon. Yeah, yeah, that guy was just a fuckhead. But this other guy, and he says that, and you're like, well, one, German is not the opposite of Jewish. There are still Jewish people who live in Germany who are Germans. But aside from that, it's like, why are you so concerned with being mistaken for Jewish that you'd actually say something that make you sound like you could be a Nazi? I'd much rather be mistaken for Jewish than to be mistaken for a Nazi. It's like my family's German too. We came over here in 1890-ish. Thank God. And I will always emphasize that. Whenever I say my family's Jewish, I'm like, we came here in the 1800s. Not us. We didn't do that. I mean, I'm sure we did some other pretty awful shit because we're white and we were there. Um, it's it's one of those things that does happen sometimes. But that we didn't do. Thank goodness. So that guy, I kind of think is, and I was kind of shocked actually. Okay, I probably shouldn't have gone this way. I think I got myself killed. Um, all right. Well, note to self: not this way. This cave looks like okay. Oh, I see. I've gotten back of the whole thing. All right. Okay. Well, we're just gonna let myself die for right now. Oh, I froze. Oh, well, my game heard me bad mouthing somebody and decided to punish me. Yep. Freeze. Okay. Well, I'm actually gonna call it in about 10 minutes. The game might be. I don't know. I don't know. See, the game didn't like me calling somebody a Nazi. I mean, maybe the guy isn't. Maybe he's just like socially clueless and doesn't realize the implication. But it's like I said, I would much rather be mistaken for Jewish than be mistaken. Wait, we're restarting. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna get off this topic because it's depressing. Sorry. There I go, bad mouthing streamers. I shouldn't badmouth streamers. But it's not anybody I think either you or I watch, Mr. Crappy. Um, So, or anyone we know. It's the kind of person who has like millions and millions of viewers at a time, and you're like, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I envy the idea of having a huge audience, but then I think like there's a part of me that envies the idea of being famous. Who thinks, oh gosh, it would be really nice to be famous. And then I think about it for like 2 seconds. I'm like, no, that would be horrible. So it's like I go back and forth. I want the perks of fame, but I want them for about 10 minutes, and then I want to hide. That's what I want. You don't watch anyone unless we know them. That's fair. That's fair. I think I'm pretty much the same. I'll watch people on recommendations. So if it's like in Plunge's Discord, if it's someone on his list of people, so this friend is logged on. I'll watch that person. I trust Plunge's taste and quite a few other people's tastes, but the big names I usually won't watch. Well, there were a few when when I fell down the rabbit hole of watching all the reactions to Elon Musk cheating because he's a fuckhead. Um, I did get introduced to a few bigger streamers. Not introduced. It's not like they know who I am, but I mean I enjoyed watching them enough that I might seek them out. It's just they stream things that I don't have a whole lot of interest in watching. Oh, the leader of Canada's NDP party. You watched where you felt called out and really impressed by some of his stances. That's good. I I like that idea. Being famous would suck online. You'd have to tolerate. That is true. That is true. I would probably end up blocking so many people. It's like they'd be like, Squid Monarchy is pro censorship. Okay, judging by the number of tracks, this is the main gate, but there's a few tracks leading to the west as well. So get your ass over here. Don't go attack people. All right. So we're going to be going the same way I went before, it looks like, as a way behind. But I'm probably not going to get very far because I'm logging out at midnight. But you'd be band crazy. Yeah, me too. Me too. Like I said, I mean, I want fame as like a hat I could put on and just enjoy the perks for about 10 minutes and then put the hat down. And be like, go away, leave me alone. Like, someone going, oh, it's you, and asking for my autograph would be nice for 2 seconds. And then no. There was a comedian who had a joke about maybe it was Coldplay or one of the other bands like that, how that was his dream of being famous, where you could be the drummer of Coldplay or one of the other bands and like be recognized all over the world, but no one actually knows what you look like. So you could just be a normal person and but you get all the perks. That sounds good. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I can see that. He's Sikh, but am I pronouncing that right? I'm not sure actually. And why he never publicly cleared it up. I appreciate that. I mean, look, I'm not going to say it's a bad thing to just kind of clear it up. If someone asks you, are you something and you're not, I think it's fine to say, no, I'm not. But there's a difference. It's like, hmm. And he responded that trying to appease that would just be feeding the hatred, and that's fair. That's fair. I think it's okay, but like I said, I think it's okay to just say, no, I'm not. But it's how you say it. It's like it's not the mistake is it shouldn't be offensive to just be to have someone think you're. I mean, in general, most of the assumptions like that. Well, no, I shouldn't say most of because I don't know. In my case, when I've been mistaken, it's usually been complimentary. It's like someone from that group was like, "Oh, are you in my group?" And I'm like, "Sorry, no, but I mean, I thought it was clearly meant to be a good thing that they asked. They asked because they liked me." Yeah, exactly. I think that's fine. I think that's a fine response. I also think it's perfectly fine to go none of your business or or to not respond at all. I think that I keep telling them to follow and not attack. I'm gonna keep replaying this thing like 15 times because I'm incompetent. All right. Mhm. Yeah. I do think it is respectable to just not clarify too. That's good too. Um, I Yeah, I always think about like what's the best response there, and I'm not sure there is a best response, but it's definitely not what that guy said. You get mistaken for a supermodel because you are. Well, of course, Mr. Crappy. We have no doubts about that. Get back over here, you two. I need to get somewhere we can rest and shit before we die. You're just gonna lead people back to me, aren't you? Yeah, I think so. Should I attack? Yeah, probably. Did anybody follow you? No. Okay. So let's go over here and try to rest. Well, let me rest in the cold. Oh, well. We're gonna die of hypothermia. Your answer to a loaded question like that would be simply why. That's fair. I think that's a really good answer. Put them on the spot. Make them say what they mean. It's like, are you asking to be an asshole, or are you asking because do you mean it, or in a good way? Because I mean, I do think you can be asked in a good way. It's because it's someone in the group who's like, you know, are you are you one of us? And usually that's meant in a good way. Kind of always kind of feel sad. Like I think I'm not gonna lie, I always thought it would be fun to be Jewish because you get to like the religion has such a deep emphasis on questioning God, and I always thought that was great. It's like I wish my religion did that. I want to argue with God. God's a fuckhead sometimes. There you go. Now I'm gonna get zapped. Now when my game crashes, you'll know I deserve it because I said God is a fuckhead. But seriously, sometimes he is, and I want to call him out. I wish my religion did that. Mm. Oh, that's fair. Right, in reference to people just assuming and judging him for it. So that's okay. I mean, I wasn't saying it was bad, even if it was response to being asked. I knew a couple of I would think are straight actors who, when asked if they're gay or bi, were just like, "Well, are you asking me out on a date? Because otherwise, it's not your business." And I always like that as a response too. I say presumably straight because the fellow and was married or married later on. But I mean, that doesn't rule out being bi, of course. Half of Jewish religious texts are just people arguing with each other. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair, Dave's. I like buy me dinner first and try out. Yeah, see, I always think that's great. And honestly, as a lapsed Catholic, the most interesting studies of, well, what we call the Old Testament, you can find much more interesting things on the Torah sites than you ever do on the. I mean, it's not that there aren't biblical scholars. There are, but I feel like you get the most interesting analyses from the Torah sites. So, oh, is that appropriative to read Torah sites to understand the Old Testament better? Because I mean, obviously, it's not the Old Testament to Jewish folks. That's not the. But hmm, now I got to think about that. That's a moral question. Oh crap! Oh great! I've white liberal guilted myself again. Now I gotta extract myself from the spiral. It's like, all right, well, I'm gonna mull on that for a while. But anyway, the discussions on those sites are really cool, and also there's some interesting there's always some interesting analysis on what exactly things might be a metaphor for, or which ancient tribe it might be referring to, and what they knew about the world at the time. It's so interesting. I like that so much better. I don't think I could convert though. I wouldn't I don't think I'd be able to keep like kosher laws and such. And I feel like while I know there are folks who don't keep those laws, I feel like if I were converting to a religion, I kinda should be following the rules. That's the downside. It's like otherwise it'd be great, but I do feel like if you're converting, you should probably follow the rules. And if you can't follow the rules, then you're probably not the best fit. But that's a shame though, because I think it's cool. All right. Anyway, now that I've babbled myself into incoherent idiocy again, um, let's finish this up. Uh, about to get my ass kicked, but I'm gonna get my ass kicked next time. You're those folks? Bacon on your cheeseburger? Yes, bacon cheeseburgers are lovely. You never follow any rules that. Yeah, that's. I mean, to be honest, I barely. I actually do, and this is embarrassing. I actually do try to keep the no meat on Fridays during Lent thing. Not because I believe God cares. Don't. It's more as a test to myself to see if I can remember it and follow through for the entire time. And I will say, since I started trying it in college, which was back in, let's see, I feel like it was my first year of law school, so 20 or what, 2005 maybe. I have never actually been through a Lent period without fucking up. Never. Bacon cheeseburger bagels at Tim's. Ha, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, yeah. I was in a community once. We were actually talking about a tabletop game. And oh shoot, now I can't remember enough details to make the story satisfying. So I'm gonna sit on that and I will try to remember to tell it next time if it's relevant to the conversation. Mm, yeah. I like bacon and I like shellfish and I like mixing things too much. And I feel like it probably if you were going to convert to a religion, you should like if you're already there, then yeah, you can do what you want and what feels right to you. But if you're converting to them, I think you kind of owe them the respect of trying to follow their traditions. So, yeah, I wouldn't be good at it. But I think about it sometimes. Anyway, all right, we're done for the night. And with that idiot tangent of mine, let's see who I can raid. Um, and now that you've got all talking about bacon cheeseburgers, I'm starving. I'm gonna get food upstairs. There's got to be something I can mix that would be delicious. All right, so who's on? Ooh, Rune Moon is doing the Power Wash Simulator. They've got a Be Right Back sign up, though, so I'm not sure. Other people. Oh, Peeps is doing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I do like when Peeps is late night, but that said, I have never played Rebirth and I've been trying to avoid spoilers. I mean, I know there's some spoilers because it's based on Final Fantasy VII proper, but still. Oh, AOC's still up. We might be rating AOC. AOC's easy. He's my game master. They're they do Frog Pond Academy. Frog Pond Academy is on hiatus at the moment, but eventually we'll come back to that. And Igor Knock is currently taking a well-deserved nap, possibly in an underbag. Who else is on? Oh, Red Mage Dove is on. I haven't raided Red Mage Dove in a while, have I? Have I? I have not. Let's read Red Mage Dove, actually, though I'm still looking to see other folks. Red Mage Dove is lots of fun. You'll like them a lot. She does a lot of challenge art things for Final Fantasy. Like most recently, she was playing Final Fantasy 1 as all black mages, which apparently is harder than all white mages, which I would not have expected. So yeah, let's do that if I can find them again. There she is. Right now she's playing Trails in the Sky, which was the RPG Coliseum winner. Interesting. I've heard of the Trails games, but I've never played them. So I think she'd be a good person to raid. She also does shufflers like Plunge does. So we will raid Red Mage Dove. All right. Well, thank you for hanging out with me. I had fun. I'm really glad I got to play a longer stream tonight. Well, longer for me, a short stream for anybody else, because I was so short the last time. So this was good. Okay, now I'm gonna stop making you stare at my blank screen, and we're gonna go say hi to someone more interesting. So thanks for hanging out. Bye bye.